Welcome back to the Concussion Protocol Podcast Offseason edition. We are coming to you live, but whenever you're listening to this is February 25th. High chances, Mom. It has
What do you mean
already
by
been
live? How? I guess we're live right now, but nobody's going to see us live.
Oh, I said live whenever you're listening to this.
That's how live works, guys.
That's how live works.
Definitely how it works. Yes.
We're not rusty. You're rusty. I'm not
live
rusty.
from a recording from 5 days ago.
We are the Concussion Protocol Podcast, and we thank you for joining us for this very special off-season episode. It has been spicy so far in the off-season. Big moves being made, money moves being made, conferences being not realigned, but reborn. But they don't look anything like they used to, but they look a little bit like they used to. There's just a whole lot going on. We're going to get into all of it. We're going to get into the nitty gritty of it. We are going to go a little bit fast, though, because like I said, we're a little rusty and not all of us had our equipment in an effort to not get the whole podcast shut off by 1/3 of our host not having his charger with us. He'll remain nameless. We're gonna go fast and furious on this one. So let's get right into it, though. Probably the biggest piece of news for the whole of college football, not necessarily talking about like any political aspect of it, if that's even the right term, but just interesting news. I've got opinions on it. I've been really, really excited. We haven't talked about any of this off script, but I've been very interested to hear your guys' thoughts. Let's talk about the Mountain West. Let's talk about
the biggest news in college football, the Mountain West. All right.
Yeah. Maybe it's been a slower last month than we thought, but it's shaping. I didn't say like the political stuff. I didn't say anything. And by political, I just mean like the playoff news, the bowl game news. I mean, none of those, anything NIL related. That's all I mean by political. I do mean, let's talk about North Dakota State. Let's talk about the Mountain West. I'll let you lead off on this, and we'll just kind of hop in with our opinions. So pick a lane. Do you want to talk about the whole conference? Do you want to talk about the Bisons? Or Bison? Is that a plural? A singular plural?
They are the Bison.
The Bison. They are the Bison.
I'm sure they're the Bison. We can get into North Dakota State. This move confuses me. Not because they did it. I think that's the right move. It's the timing of when they did it. I'm confused because if they did it a couple of years ago when a bunch of teams jumped into Division I, they would have avoided millions and millions of dollars in fines. But now that they do it, it's very costly. So what was the motivating factor for them to do it right now? And the only answer I can think of is the Mountain West must have thrown a bunch of money at them and been very desperate. That's all I can think of.
And you know who didn't get any of that money, though? Sac State, who did the same thing and got zero. In fact, Sac State is losing money hand over fist. They are hemorrhaging money, but we'll get to them.
Yeah, but I mean, Sacramento State might be in a little different situation too, where I feel like they've got more boosters and they're an up-and-coming, money-filled school versus North Dakota State. I just think of a traditional, like, really local, proud program that wins at its division and has potential to win at the next division. But again, it must have been heavily influenced by the Mountain West paying a bunch of fees. That's the only thing, again, that I can think of. That and maybe seeing the success of a school recently jumping ship and entering into the Division I, that being James Madison. You know, we saw them very quickly make the playoffs from that division. So maybe they saw that and they said, hey, why not us? But yeah, otherwise very confusing. I actually really like North Dakota State. Have you guys ever seen their stadium and their traditions and stuff?
Yeah.
They're crazy.
They're some of the most passionate fans. And Chase, I will let you go because I can definitely see that you got something to say. Real quick, I realize not every college football fan may understand why we would care about North Dakota State. If you're a diehard fan, then you absolutely know about them. But for the casual fan who is learning about the ever-changing college football landscape, just to give a little bit of history on North Dakota State. Yeah, they're in the middle of freaking nowhere in North Dakota, which is to say, it's kind of redundant to say that because, as
It's North
Family
Dakota.
Guy eloquently put it, North Dakota is just a really long way from wherever you are. It is the least visited state in our country. There's just not a lot. It's a very flat state that does amazing agriculture work, but that's about it. There's no mountains like there are in South Dakota. The weather is extremely harsh. It's huge. It's got a low population, but man, do they play some football in there. University of North Dakota and North Dakota State are both top tier elite level FCS programs that would, if those of you who got a taste of what James Madison could do this year, James Madison was that prolific at the FCS level. The only team that they could never get past, and I mean they played each other like in the playoffs 8 years in a row and won one time in that 8-year span, JMU. North Dakota State won the other 7 times. In the last 15 years, what do they have? Like, it's literally 8 national championships. They run the FCS. Everything for close to 2 decades in the FCS level of football has exclusively gone through them. It is a Cinderella story whoever has to play against the Bison. Carson Wentz, who's the other guy? Not Fleck? What is that his name? No, Stick. Was it Stick? He's got like a short name.
Stick.
Yeah. Yeah, both of those two extraordinarily talented quarterbacks coming out of there. And that's just probably
You had what's his bucket with the Niners, right?
which one?
He was the 2nd or 3rd pick overall. He's now with Dallas. He kind of stunk up the place. What's his
Trey Lance?
name?
Trey Lance. That's right. That's who I was thinking of. Yeah, yeah.
But Easton Stick he was also North Dakota State.
Yeah, just a history. And those are just the quarterbacks, just the most famous quarterbacks that I'm talking about. This place produces talent in all of a 1,000-person stadium in a dome. They play some football. And personally, and this is an article that I read like years ago, like seriously 5 or 6 years ago. There was an article that was an interview that was done with the fan base, just random fans, groundskeepers, people familiar with the program. And they said that the fan base was actually losing interest because they were so dominant. The saying used to be it was the hottest ticket in town. This is a quote from the article, that it used to be the hottest ticket in town. You couldn't find a seat. Now it's still popular, but you can find a seat, is what it was. And I think they just craved a higher level of competition. This is not like when UMass jumped up. This is not like when Idaho was trying to jump up to the FBS level just for media exposure. This team can play. People forget that they were within a score of Colorado during 2 years ago in that season opener, and a lot of people thought that they really could have done it. And obviously Colorado isn't necessarily like a upset, although that was the fabled Shador and Travis Hunter Heisman year, whatever. But regardless, they've proven over and over and over again that they can compete. And so jumping up to the Mountain West, personally, I'm almost wondering if they smell blood in the water in the Mountain West now that the Pac-12 is kind of reformed. And if they're not trying to do a similar thing that JMU's doing with making the Sun Belt competitive by seeing if they can run the new Mountain West, because that's there's stiffer competition in the Mountain West, but it's not like it was when Boise State was making their way. So, anyways, just a little bit of context for you guys on that. North Dakota State is a powerhouse school at the lower level. They shouldn't be able to compete, but they've proven over and over and over again that they can. They're fun to watch. So go ahead, Chase.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, Chase, for that interruption. I'm going to go on for 10 minutes, and then I'll let you talk. Go ahead.
Just a little context, guys. Little context. Yeah, what Chance said, I honestly agree. I don't necessarily get the move for them unless there's a huge money aspect. I mean, they've won. I get there's been a lot of people saying, like, you've already proven yourself at the FCS level, so why stay at it? Why stay at it? You won 10 of the last 15 championships in the FCS. Why move up? Why be a smaller fish in a big pond than the big fish in a small pond at this point? I mean, you run the FCS. 10 of 15 last net. You were more prolific than Alabama is at the FBS level. So why? Why? Do you really think, like, yes, let's say they come in, they fill Boise State's shoes, they dominate the Mountain West, right? What did JMU show us this year? Like, they showed us a special team for sure, but their reward for their amazing season was you get to play Oregon at night in Autzen. So do we really think that North Dakota State is going to go into Autzen, going to go into Lubbock, going to go into Austin, whatever team it may be, and upset them? I don't see that in the cards for them. I don't think that team can recruit like that. And yes, with NIL and all the things, like obviously teams like Indiana come out of nowhere and they can suddenly compete at this level, win a national championship. If North Dakota State does that, that's a bigger story than Indiana, and not because Indiana was more successful than North Dakota State. They clearly weren't, but they were playing at least at the FBS level for this long in the big leagues. So I
Well, and
really
here's the issue with North Dakota State, right? Is let's say that you start elevating the program. Who's the coach at Indiana?
Luke,
Kurtz.
or,
Chris Signetti?
Yeah,
Where'd he come
Signetti.
from?
JMU. And then,
JMU. You do good one year and your coach gets poached
yeah,
and your players get poached. And Indiana can do that because they're a Power 5 school. You're not a Power 5 school. So any bit of success that you now have is going to be expendable and everybody else is going to poach you. So I don't get it from that aspect. I also don't get football only. What does that mean for your other sports? How do you have that continuity throughout the whole year with everything else? It's very confusing. I don't understand, but it can create excitement at the beginning.
it's definitely exciting, but it is super confusing because I truly
Yeah.
don't understand why stop winning championships and go like Mountain West Championship. Sure, that'd be cool, but like it's not a national championship like the FCS was.
And we talk about the success of James Madison, right? But we haven't talked about Sam Houston. We haven't talked about UMass. We haven't talked
Sam
about these other
Houston was
schools.
very dominant at the FCS level as well.
Yeah, and not so much in the FBS level. It's going to take a while for them to build up. So while I do think North Dakota State is more prime than those other teams, don't expect them to be James Madison. The only thing they've got working towards them is a very weak Mountain West void where you've got UNLV basically and some other teams that are beatable. So
The only way I see it working for them is if they magically have some crazy donors that attended North Dakota State for some reason, and they want to give a mass influx of money to them because that is kind of what happened here at Indiana. I mean, even Mark Cuban's feeding that program now, so they're getting money galore.
yeah, but you're talking about the school that has the biggest alumni base in the world versus North Dakota State, right?
Yeah.
So it's just it doesn't
exactly.
make sense. But I mean, there are parts I'm excited for. I'm excited to see the Fargo Dome on TV against some of these opponents. That's going to be cool.
That will be cool.
But for a university standpoint, I don't know. Doesn't make sense.
ESPN has made it very clear that they don't even recognize that FCS football exists. So
Yeah.
it will be nice to see the Bison get some recognition again.
All they got to
'cause they
do is
used to
beat
be
Alabama, and they'll be the best team ever. So that's all they need.
Yeah.
Right.
or play against Texas. That makes them the best team ever if they or this at least the second best team ever. No. Yeah, it's interesting. Who wants to talk about did we talk about the Pac-12 before being officially reborn? Do we call them, are we back to Power 5? Do we have to give, are we now up to G6?
Yeah.
Are we feeling fly like a G6 now?
Shut up.
Yeah.
Hunter.
If
Is it-
the Mountain West, as it was before the split, was G5, they just weakened themselves. It's not. Yeah, some of those programs in the Pac-12, I think, have more potential than the Mountain West, aside from UNLV, but they're not there yet, and it's gonna take a while. And I think my understanding or my feeling on NIL in the world that is today is, I think as a whole, Power 4 schools all got better, meaning that the competition level got higher among not just Alabama, but everybody else is catching a little bit up to Alabama. But it also means that the G5 schools went down in what they can do because they're just going to, again, they can get poached now. There's no protection for them. It's all about the P4 baby. And if you're a G5 school, I am so sorry. And there's only a couple. There's probably Boise State and there's Tulane that can poach maybe the best of the G5 and have their little G5 all-star team. And that's it. Everything else is going to be very P4 heavy.
The good news is that now last year was a bit of a down year. between Boise State and Gonzaga, 2 of the 7 new Pac-12 teams have over a 90% win rate in football, at least a 90% win rate.
Did you just say Gonzaga with 90%
Yeah.
in
Can you
football?
name the last time you don't you call yourself a fan, you can't even name the last time the Gonzaga lost a football game, huh? It's been decades. It's been decades. You don't have one.
I don't think you want to start this before trivia. Just saying, don't do it. We have records now. We have receipts. I don't think you want to start.
There are 2 Bulldogs now in the Pac-12 as well.
Connor loves Bulldogs, especially in week 2.
I was trying to think about Bulldogs.
Don't. I try to block that from my. I wake up in a cold sweat about that game still.
Needs more cowbell.
There's one thing that game did not need. It was even more cowbell. I still hear Brock Osweiler crying on camera about how loud it was in the studio, and I don't blame him.
My ears.
Man, can we talk a little bit about the lack of changes in the college football playoff? The amount of nothing that actually did happen. I'm sorry, I'm doing like Trump hands right now, and I don't know why.
You're giving the State of the Union.
There was
college football.
It was a tremendous lack of change. Everybody said there would be changes. I said there wouldn't be any changes. Look, there weren't any changes. I'm a genius.
It was okay.
Hey, it was all right. It's not, I don't claim to be an impressionist, but ultimately, no. Is it all because the Rose Bowl threw such a fit that they didn't want it, or is the college football playoff committee actually doing something correct for once in not expanding it?
I think we know Connor's opinion.
You did not want an expansion any more than anybody else.
Well, I'm saying you didn't even leave. You let everyone know what your opinion was right there with that question. It was loaded.
Sorry, is it the right move to not expand the playoff? But we all have made our thoughts on this subject.
Chance has a different opinion. Let's hear Chance.
Yeah, I have a different opinion on that. It's the question, is it not the right move to move to 16, or they made that decision because they felt like it was not the right move? Because I would say no to both of those.
They made it for the wrong reasons, but it also...
They made it because they cannot agree.
And that's it. Okay.
They
Go
cannot
ahead, elaborate.
And by they, I mean the Big Ten and
the SEC
cannot agree.
What can they not agree on?
They both want different things.
Yeah. Shit. If this was a couple weeks ago, I know exactly what the difference was.
Yeah, it has been a little bit.
Oh, the SEC... Didn't the SEC want to expand to like 16, but the Big Ten wanted to expand to 24?
It might have been that. And it's also about how you get in and who you get in. I think the SEC wants a little bit more promise or guarantees on their teams getting in and the format. So it's just they both want the playoff format to benefit themselves a little bit more, and they can't find a common ground between the two. And the funny thing is, the Big 12 and the ACC are just sitting there twiddling their thumbs because they have no say. They have no seat at the table. It's the Big 10 show and the SEC show.
It really isn't fair for the SEC or the Big 10 that they don't get every team they want into the playoffs. I think it's crazy that it's really
they don't think so either.
For them. Like I would leave and join the Big 12 because it's way easier to make the playoffs in the Big 12, right, Chance?
No, it's not. No, it's
Obviously,
not.
it's so much
I promise you, it's not. It doesn't have.
It's so
I'm gonna
easy
crash
to make
out.
it in, right? All you have to do is not lose to Texas Tech.
Texas can lose to Georgia twice and still make it in.
Just not 3 times.
Yeah.
I'm gonna crash out.
That's a worthy crash out. I guess in your defense, I think you guys were maybe I haven't made my opinions on the SEC bias well enough known. So
we've never. No, you're so good at hiding it.
Reaffirm. I will reaffirm that the College Football Playoff Committee rarely makes the right move, and it almost exclusively skews itself towards the SEC. Case in point, BYU has the exact same record over the last 3 years as Georgia, who has had how many playoff appearances in the last 3 years? BYU. Sorry, again, you're better at trivia than me. Can't think of it off the top of my head.
BYU has the 5th best record in the last 2 years.
And how many playoff appearances do they have? 0. But
Are you
Georgia.
doing this to taunt me, or are you trying to help me
No,
here?
I'm trying to drive the point home because Chase apparently is so blinded by his SEC delusion.
No, Chase was taunting me too, man. He was just
I
trying
was
to
being
taunt me.
sarcastic that whole time.
Okay, just making sure. I couldn't tell if you actually meant that.
Oh, he was being sarcastic, but it's
Okay.
I can tell what
You
chances
knew he
been
was
thinking
trolling
about
and
the last
thought,
3
okay.
months.
Yeah. No,
He's sitting there
the
just,
SEC
Damn
clearly.
it, Texas Tech, only 2 losses, only 2 losses. Pop-Tart Bowl, Pop-Tart Bowl. People's
Clearly, the
National
only
Champions.
problem with the SEC is how many teams that they got in. So that's all that mattered, not the fact that they got 2 SEC matchups and still couldn't figure out. They couldn't even be consistent. The results were different. Georgia beat Ole Miss one time. Georgia and Ole Miss were 1-1 against each other, and then Alabama and Oklahoma went 1-1 against each other. Like, make up your mind.
At the end of the day, it doesn't matter because the only team that could have possibly beat Indiana was obviously Notre Dame.
Notre Dame.
Notre Dame by like 20 too. They were just so much better.
Probably.
I mean, I know that Texas A&M and Miami beat Notre Dame, but when they played each other, Notre Dame would have beat both those teams, obviously.
Had that been me in that situation, I would have scored more touchdowns. I don't know why Miami didn't think to just get in the end zone a few more times. Silly Miami.
There's another hypothetical win for Notre Dame.
Oh man. Yeah. Well, I'm gonna sit back because I feel like if all 3 of us give our rants on Notre Dame again, then we're never gonna end. Chase, your computer will die before we get to that point. So do we have any other thoughts on this Notre Dame secured spot that they can just play whatever schedule they want and then make it in because they will automatically be given a top 12 spot if they keep scheduling the worst teams in the world?
Well, here's the thing that I don't understand, right? Is from my understanding, the moratorium, it was applied because Notre Dame was at a disadvantage because they couldn't secure a top 4 spot, right? But we don't have top 4 spots anymore. Why is there a secure spot for them?
There was no reason given other than they're Notre Dame.
Yeah. I don't get it.
I said I would be quiet.
Yeah, I don't get why they get that special thing in there. I will say, and we can post this, and finally Notre Dame fans can say something positive, and you guys won't agree with this, probably. I think Notre Dame did not deserve to get into the playoffs this year because they had 2 losses and did not get enough quality wins. However, I think they could have made some noise if they made it. I will say that at least. So, I am a proponent of a 16-team playoff. If there was, I think they would have made it and made some noise. But they did not deserve to get in. They did not even deserve to get in at 13. I'll leave it at that.
Connor skipped rolling his eyes and just rolled his entire head. I don't know if you noticed. Like he's like, I don't even have patience to roll my eyes, so I'm just gonna.
I think they developed. I mean, yeah, I get it. I think they developed into a pretty good team. But again, at the end of the day, they didn't deserve to get in because of their early work. They lost.
Yeah, I mean, I think they were playoff caliber, but their resume, they didn't deserve it. If that same resume was under the name Boise State, they wouldn't sniff. They wouldn't have even looked at them. They wouldn't have been ranked. They would have been ranked 22.
Apparently, not even if your resume is titled as BYU, you couldn't get it.
Yeah,
no, they would have thrown you out of the top 25 if that was the resume of BYU.
Yeah. I think BYU had a better team last year than Notre Dame, at least from what they showed.
We'll see what they have this year.
I hope that like they pump them full of every amphetamine that is not against the honor code.
I forgot they play next year. I forgot for half a second they play next year.
Yeah, man. Like in the middle of the season, I'm pretty sure.
I'm telling you what, I will for real crash out, not fake, not anything. I will for real crash out on this camera if they beat Notre Dame and Notre Dame gets in ahead of them. I'm telling you right now.
3 years in a row, baby.
I fully expect it to happen, and I will crash out on this computer.
Yeah, to be honest, Chance, if your team doesn't make the playoffs next season, I'll crash out because you guys have a
if they go 12-0, if they're 12-1
coming your way. So y'all better if you win Notre Dame, you better be undefeated because the rest.
Could
of
you
your
imagine the scenario that BYU goes 12-0 in the regular season, loses to Texas Tech in the conference championship, and gets left out, and Notre Dame gets in over them at 11-1 Notre Dame? Could
It was
you
so much
imagine?
earlier in the season. They're a different team now.
They're a different team.
It's going to happen, guys, and I'm going to be so mad.
Let's move on before my computer dies.
Notre Dame, I think Notre Dame has the second longest winning streak in the country right now to Indiana, don't they?
Yep.
They've won 10 in a row
Because they didn't play in the freaking Pop-Tarts Bowl.
with stunning home wins over USC and
Over just
among
US
other things.
Navy.
Yeah, Notre Dame, please continue to light up the chat. We want to hear it. All right, let's move on. Are we ready for some way, and I mean way, like before spring ball even hits? Do we want to do some way too early conference championship predictions? Because we
Yeah.
were so good. We were so good at our right before the conference, right playoff bracket that happened right before the season started when we had everything sorted out. We had the crystal ball. And yeah, I remember Chase. I still remember you losing your mind over that week 1 Clemson win.
Yeah. I did too.
These are obviously 2 playoff teams going head to head right now. What has
Those
changed?
were the times.
Yeah,
That's
week 1 had so much hope for so many. Not Notre Dame,
But
though.
to be fair, it was reasonable at that we went from having the season before that one of the best offenses, and then we got a good defense. You're like, these two things together, obviously, you're gonna go 7-6.
You think
Obviously,
that
you're gonna go
because you had a
7-6.
good offense and a good defense, you'd have a good football team?
Yeah, you'd think these two
You
things would add
idiot.
together to mean something better than 7-6 and a loss to Houston, but in the bowl game with our second string in. But I guess you never
need to
know.
learn a little bit about college football, Chase, if you think that a good offense and a good defense equals a good football team.
I think his problem was he got that trophy for best transfer portal, and he was just like, yes, we've won it, baby.
So
Name
did
one
Texas
other
Tech,
team
and
that
it
found
went pretty
success
well
through
for
the
them.
transfer portal this year. I'll wait.
Texas Tech got a good portal too, and that seemed to go pretty well. So we
Yeah, it
shall
did.
see.
Hey, but this year you have a better portal, right, Chase?
We have a much better portal and a much better coach who isn't.
All right, moving on. Let's talk about the way too early SEC. So the SEC, it's kind of wide open, I guess. This is so early. We're obviously just having a good time. As the guy who never thinks that the SEC is going to amount to anything in this life, I hate to say it because I don't want to do it 2 years in a row and be so dead wrong. But I am worried about LSU being a problem this year. Kiffin and Sam Levitt, their ceiling is so high. Now, will they live up to it? Who's to say? But I have ridden the Lane train for a long time, and he is the thirstiest coach in America, but his teams put up wins, man. I didn't want to believe what would happen last time an ASU quarterback transferred, and I'm not even saying Sam Levitt is Jaden Daniels, but I didn't think Jaden Daniels was Jaden Daniels until he got to LSU.
Neither did I.
Jaden Daniels had almost the exact same storyline at Arizona State. Flashes of brilliance, but never able to put it together. And then he put it together at LSU, one might say. Go ahead.
One might say.
Well, I want to hear your other team.
Chance, I think you were high on Texas, but go ahead.
Who do you have in the
who's your other
championship?
team?
My other team?
Yeah, you said
versus.
You did say you did say matchups. It's hard to say for everybody else. Like Alabama, I don't know what to make of Alabama's football program right now. They're gonna be good, but I don't know. Alabama and Georgia are such question marks to me right now. I don't know what to make of freaking A&M either. You want to talk about a team that just laid an egg to end the year?
Connor, that is why it's the way too early pick. We're not holding.
Okay, if we're just going, I try
He's
to take
scared.
This
He's scared of the comments,
very
guys.
seriously.
Get
I
him.
try to rely on facts and logic at all times.
When have you ever done that, Mr. Vibes
I
and
swear, you guys
Leadership?
are trying to make me just lose it.
You
The
want
Vibes and Leadership guy is saying he uses logic in his picks.
if you're making me pick a number 2, then fine. Oklahoma.
Okay. Someone believes in John Mateer.
Okay.
It could happen. He'd
Oh.
have to turn it around.
All
Turn
right,
it
Shannon.
around.
He had a terrible end to last year.
Lots of teams had a terrible end to last year. No, I guess based on which, given the things can turn on a dime in college football this day and age, I can't hardly say anything is going to be continuity. But
Well,
I'm not going to give Texas the credit until I actually see it on the field. I'm not going to. I
All right.
understand. I get it. Go ahead, make your argument. Until
fine.
they put it together on the field, I'm not going to say it. So
Well,
now, you want my pick? LSU and Oklahoma.
Okay, I don't mind your picks, by the way. I think LSU is going to be much more legit than they were last year.
That's not hard.
Yeah, it's not hard. And they've
Low
got
bar.
the talent. They've got it on paper. And this time, hopefully, their coach can put it together, right? Oklahoma, I don't mind that one. It just depends on what John Mateer you get. If it was the John Mateer that I was praising at the beginning of the season last year, he's a Heisman hopeful, and Oklahoma has a defense that team can definitely make it. Those are some what ifs, though. And so I think there's some teams, in my opinion, that have it more put together and are closer to that. And that is Texas and Georgia for me. For Texas, they weren't that far off from making the playoffs. They obviously didn't. They didn't deserve to be, but they weren't far off. They were one game off, right? And the year before, did they make the conference championship, Connor?
No.
Yes.
Oh yeah, so that they did. They got they beat that. That was the second.
So you're
loss.
saying that they have to prove it to you, but they
2024.
proved it to you 2 years ago that they can do it.
Okay, so in 2024,
That's not far removed. That's
they
not
lost
far
to Georgia
removed at
twice,
all.
and then they lost to Georgia again, and then in the most embarrassing fashion yet.
Well, that's why I got Georgia as the other team. But yes,
You're going with the safest picks.
but
LSU
I think
and
they're the
Georgia?
most legit picks right now.
Of course you do. On paper,
had
they
asked
always
me-
look the best.
Yeah, but I think
just-
it's legit this time because I think Arch Manning struggled and had his struggles, but I think he proved to me at the end of the season that he's ready for this next season. And the struggles weren't him at the end of the season. They have no running backs. Well, guess what? They just got 2 of them. You're very familiar with one, Connor.
The 2
I
best running
know.
backs in the transfer.
Yeah, the best 2 backs. They got the best wide receiver in the portal. They were really struggling with wide receiver. They got some line help. They filled every hole that they needed to, and they're scary to me. I don't want to sit here, Connor, and say I think Texas is going to make it. That's the last thing I want to do, but I have to. I really do think that they are a top, probably 5 team in the country next year.
So who'd you pick in the championship?
Texas, Georgia.
Okay.
So Georgia's going to win the
That's
SEC
fair.
next
You know,
year.
they don't. You know, for them, they don't play each other in the regular season this time. So that's an opportunity for them.
Could you
But
imagine if that does happen? The riots in Austin. Austin would be burned to the ground if they finally don't have to play them in the regular season, and then Georgia still wins in the championship.
I mean, if they still make it, they'll probably still be in the playoffs. But I am riding high on Texas too, but I think their schedule is way tougher than Georgia's. And I think their schedule is tougher than LSU's because they have to go into LSU and play us at home. And I think that's going to hurt them. And I think that Texas is going to be one of that team that's just first out of not of the playoffs necessarily, but first out of that SEC championship just because of tiebreakers. So I'm calling LSU Georgia. Otherwise, I would have picked LSU Texas, but I looked at their schedule and I was like, oof. That's way tougher than Georgia's. Georgia's is easy compared to that. So the only game that Georgia might lose is at Alabama because they just never beat Alabama in those games. But they did break that trend with the SEC championship at least.
And that Alabama team has a lot to prove this year.
Yeah.
A lot of question marks.
Yep.
Probably
Yep.
the most question marks I've ever seen an Alabama team have.
I think that the program, and I think all of college football, as much as I hate to say it, all of college football was willing to give them a little bit of the benefit of the doubt for the first 2 seasons. But they got no more wiggle room if they want to keep their status as like the reputation of the absolute elite of college football. Clemson fell off. Obviously, Clemson's out of good graces, and they were getting the benefit of the doubt for a couple years there. I don't want to see it happen, but they do. This is the make or break year for their reputation to be, Similar to how the Patriots had to refine their identity after, Belichick was gone, decide to figure out, was this Tom Brady's team? Was this Belichick's team? Was it both, and they got exposed a little bit in the Super Bowl, but yeah, it is wide open. There's a lot of potential as always from all of these teams. It's going to be a fun conference to watch as always. I feel this one is a little more polarizing as far as not argumentatively. The Big 12, what I'm seeing in the Big 12, it's likely to be the BYU versus Texas Tech show again. You don't think so?
No, your internet's spotty.
Yeah, try to repeat that just in case.
Yeah, we couldn't hear.
I said I feel like the Big 12 is likely to be the BYU and Texas Tech show again this year.
Yeah, I'll be the first to say that that's exactly what I picked for the conference championship. And it's not because I think that those two teams are just so far ahead. They are pretty far ahead, but it's not that they're so untouchable that other Big 12 teams can't upset them, can't beat them, can't get a good enough record to make it. It's just that Texas Tech is scary. They added more in the portal to make them scarier. Their offense should be more consistent than it was this year. And they were blowing out teams in the Big 12 the whole year this year, even with their questionable offense in the bigger games. And then BYU, they should be getting better too. And their schedule is weaker than last season, in my opinion. Like, they don't have to play Texas Tech. So they have the clearest path to an undefeated in-conference record. I'm really hoping they beat Notre Dame with that and just stay undefeated. But I mean, I don't want to be the guy to tell Chance, the BYU fan, that his team's going to go undefeated. I bet that would make him more nervous than anything. Is believing in that. But those two teams they have the best chance for it by far. And it's weird to say that for the Big 12 in general, because we've seen the Big 12 is the most like chaotic. Just every year it's different. It's all over the place. But this year, I think it's going to solidify right now.
Yeah, I mean, you look at those two teams, and I'll be the first to say, little bias here, but last year I was very reserved on the BYU team to protect maybe myself and them and be more realistic, and I don't think I'm out of bounds by saying realistically those are the two teams that I would bet on with my own money. BYU returns pretty much everything that they needed to. Very few losses due to graduation, and immediately they filled those holes. So there's no reason to think that they won't get better than last year, because they're just going to improve the players that they return. Plus, the little additions in the portal to get better. There is one maybe question mark that I've got in wide receiver. That's where they struggled last year. Receivers getting open during the Tech games, and they just lost their top receiver. So that's going to be tough. They have tremendous talent coming in, but it's talent that's unproven. So you got to figure that one out. But they got more dangerous on the tight end position. The blocking should be the same or better. QB play has to probably improve. Running back, they got the best running back in the Big 12. He's not going to degrade. And then your defense got just better. So yeah, BYU's got it. And then Tech, the only question marks are, on paper, these transfers that are coming in should fill the holes of their big guys that are going to the NFL. Is that actually going to happen? We'll see. But on paper, it says yes, they should fill those holes and they should be a very good team. So I don't see anybody else. I mean, I'm curious to see, like in Arizona, how much they improve. And I think that they can be a good quality team, but a Big 12 contender, I think it's a two-team race.
And they have to play BYU on the road. And I think they have to play Texas Tech as well. So that's
Arizona
the question.
BYU,
because
BYU and Tech don't play each other. So, I mean, they're scheduled in one less loss for each team.
Yeah. Arizona, I was looking as well. The question is, I'm not as up to date on who they lost on their defensive side, because that's their strong suit. They did retain Fafita. I didn't realize he still had.
Wait, what? How is Noah Fafita still playing college football?
He's not a senior. He has more eligibility.
What?
So
he was a junior.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think I heard you say he was a senior, and I just went with it and agreed with it. But yeah, even when I play NCAA 25, bro's still playing. So like 3 seasons later.
Wow.
He's still there, and that team's going to be scary next year. But the problem is,
he's the same high school class as Tataroic McMillan, which I guess he just declared early then, huh? T-Mac?
Yeah, I guess.
Ah, okay. Well, he could be if it's his swan song senior year, he could be especially dangerous because he has improved pretty well every year. And yeah, but that's the thing about Arizona, and it's really both of the Arizona schools is you literally never know which one you're gonna get. Are you gonna get playoff Arizona State or are you gonna lose to freaking Houston, Arizona State? In Arizona, are you gonna get the one that knocks off Oregon? Or are you going to get the one that loses by 30 to Stanford? That's just Arizona sports in general. So,
Yeah.
Oklahoma State, also a very low bar if they want to improve. We will see. I would love to see Drew Mestamaker be able to do something good in a power conference. I love that guy, but there is zero indication that anything outside of him is good with that program right now. He might get a little bit more media attention, but it is risky on all fronts. And there's really just nobody. Colorado is, I don't care how much Deion Sanders talks about righting the ship. There's nothing to indicate that anything will be different this year. Houston, again, similar to the Arizona schools, and I suppose Baylor as well. You never know what you're going to get.
I just don't see it for any of those other teams. And Chance, whatever you're going to say, make it quick.
TCU, look out for them too.
Yeah, that's true. And BYU, that is one of their harder games. BYU has to play TCU on the road.
Okay. All right. Let's get through because I think I know where you're getting with this, Chase. So, yeah, Big Ten. Until I see anything different out of Indiana, I gotta say they're my favorite. I hope that Michigan is back. It really just does still seem like the Michigan, Ohio State, Oregon, and Indiana show. I don't know. The conference is so top heavy. I don't know. I don't think USC is prepared to play with the big boys.
Who are you picking for the second team then against Indiana?
It's probably going to be Indiana, Ohio State. If I had to choose right now, again, I would rather it be Michigan. I think Michigan has potential, but until I see it on the field, I can't. It's similar to Texas. Until I see it on the field, and I am a Michigan fan. I do like Michigan, generally speaking, but they got to show me. They got to show me they actually can do it.
Pick next. My heart's picking on this one, not my head. I'm going to go with Michigan, even though that's a tough task.
Dude.
I really like their portal. I really like their coaching staff. Their schedule is tough.
Yeah.
But I'm going with my gut on this one. I don't know why. And then I'm going to go Oregon on the other one because I liked a lot of the things I saw in the playoffs. They did get blown out by Indiana, but everybody else did. And I think they return a lot of key pieces that they can give a run at it. So those are my two teams.
Yeah. This one was harder for me, but when I started looking at those schedules, Michigan and Ohio State schedules are just
rough
gauntlets, dude. That's funny. Off of last season with Ohio State's was the easiest schedule I've ever seen. They're playing teams next season, so I do not expect them to be in the conference championship because they haven't won it in 5 years. I don't think they're going to make it this year because I think that somehow, and this is going to sound really weird to say, I think it's going to be Indiana and Iowa. Iowa has a way softer schedule coming, and they might squeak into there with 1 loss or 2 loss and have a tiebreaker or something like that. And if Indiana's still good, Indiana's going to be Indiana. But Iowa has a much easier schedule, much easier path than a USC, than a Michigan, than Ohio State, than Penn State, than Oregon. Their schedule is way easier, so I think they could do it.
You mean Iowa State, right?
No.
Iowa State's the one in the Big Ten, right?
No, not Penn State Junior. Not Penn State Junior.
You're right. Sorry, Penn State Junior, not Iowa State.
Yeah.
Sorry, my bad.
I think Iowa is going to be a team to watch next year, which is weird to say, but love to see it.
All right. Okay.
I think he might be frozen.
All right, you ready, Connor? You back?
Was I frozen?
Yeah.
Your face is, but that's okay. We weren't using that on the podcast anyway.
ACC. I don't know. Who cares who wins the ACC?
Duke, baby.
No,
Dude,
not Duke anymore.
Oh.
Duke is out. That was you get Lightning one single time, Chance. That's it. Outside of Miami,
What's your chance first? Because he's the reigning champ. He's the reigning champ of the ACC.
Go ahead,
with
make
his
your
picks.
ACC pick. I don't even know how I can make a pick.
Are you calling for me to make my pick?
Yeah, you nailed it last.
I probably will make some spicier picks when I actually know what's going on with each team because there's still gonna be a lot happening. but I'm going to be a little bit more tame in my pick this year of ACC. I'm going to go Miami and Louisville.
I could see it. All right,
Yeah,
I'll go second.
Go ahead.
I'll go second here. For the ACC, I get your attitude about it, Connor. The ACC they wouldn't even know what's going to happen. They're so just all over the place. They're the most chaotic conference in the nation in football, and it's hard to guess. Truly, Chance had no reason to get his guess right, and he got it right. He did great.
I had 1,000% reason. Come
Shut
on.
up. The odds. The odds.
Everybody else were
plus
idiots. I'm the only
10,000.
one who saw the writing on the wall.
Plus 10,000. Get out of here.
And
Well-
if you listen to this podcast, you could have made a lot of money.
You could have made
Honestly,
a shit ton
if
of
someone
money
had put
off of it.
$100 on it, they would have probably made literally like $20,000 off of that bet.
Yeah, so that's insane. But my ACC pick is probably what you would probably expected a couple years ago. Although Miami is still yet to make the ACC championship or win an ACC championship at least. I'm picking Miami and Clemson. I think Clemson's back's to the wall, and I think that they're gonna have to perform. They have a decent schedule, a pretty softer schedule, and I think that Clemson can do it. There's just with the ACC, it's hard to see for other teams. I mean, Georgia Tech's going to take a huge step back, losing Haynes King. A lot of other teams are losing huge pieces to other teams. I just feel like Clemson, with how they did, I think with their back towards the wall, with Dabo basically on the hot seat, I think he's got to do something. He's got to make his team relevant. And I think in that conference, you could lose multiple games and make it, clearly, as we saw with Duke. So I think
And
Clemson,
Miami.
Yeah. Well,
can I change my pick?
Sure.
I'm going to change it. Sorry. Miami, Cal.
I could see that. Sagaputuleli. Yeah, their defense needs to step up huge, though. Like, their defense was atrocious.
Yeah, they do. But they've got a very favorable schedule.
Mm-hmm.
And they've got the firepower. They had a good portal.
I'm literally just going to throw something out there because I care so little about it. Miami Pitt. I'm going to make that call.
See,
I think it's just as likely as any other scenario.
You're probably not too far off there. They're probably all pretty close.
Pitt has
go
some players.
Panthers.
I don't mind Pitt.
Pitt played a lot of teams very closely, and I don't know. I feel like if Georgia Tech could have the run that they did, maybe Pitt could have the run or could have a run this year. I do agree 100% with your assessment, Chase, on Clemson. Yeah, if Dabo Swinney has another 8 wins or less, I might even say 9 wins or less, but certainly 8 wins or less, he's gone. He's out. That's his last year.
Seat's getting out.
Yeah, it's real warm. So we'll see. It is as wide. I mean, you're talking a team that didn't even make it to the conference championship and over a 7-loss Duke team. They ended up being the number 2 team in the country. Like, this conference makes zero sense. It is as wide open as any conference has ever been. And I can't even tell if it means that it's in a good way because it's actually strong or not, but we'll see. Because even that conference champion, they barely squeaked it out in the Sun Bowl against an utterly depleted, humiliated ASU squad.
Second string of ASU.
The only time, like, ASU's offense was its biggest question mark all year long, and they put up like 700 yards of offense against Duke. Like, what is this?
Jeff Sims had like 6 touchdowns, so that's enough said there.
You let Jeff Sims have his best game of his entire career against you, but you're the conference champion? Like, I don't know. But then obviously Miami actually was good, but then they lost 2 games, but then those were on like last minute mess ups, but should it have, if you were that good to be able to hang with Miami or hang with Indiana in the playoff, in the championship, should you have even risked, or should you have even been at those close of games against Louisville and Virginia? I don't know. It doesn't make any sense. So why not spin the wheel, Miami versus Pitt? Let's close out this. I don't think we have time to do the last one unless you guys really, really want to do,
Why San Diego State? There you go.
Okay.
Washington State, Fresno State.
Dang it, you're okay. Washington State, Boise State. I think the Broncos are gonna. So okay. Do you guys really want to do Heisman's?
Yeah.
I don't really care. You want to do
I
it?
do.
Okay, Chase, go ahead. Who you got?
Sam
man?
Levitt.
Shut
Sam
up.
Levitt.
I hate you. I hate you so much.
No, I just wanted to say that to piss you off. Darian Mensah. This
No, that's mine.
Darian Mensah, by far.
I agree.
Miami,
I think it's Darian
with that
Mensah.
team, that dude is going to light it up. That dude is insane. He made Duke relevant. He won the ACC. Duke, he was the only reason that team was competing with anybody. Like, their defense was atrocious. Their teams made terrible turnovers. And it wasn't his turnovers. There were running backs fumbling the ball, wide receivers just bobbling it into the DB's hands. Darian Mensah is the I thought that and Cam Ward was an amazing quarterback. And I thought that Carson Beck was going to make this a step up, and he did. He took him to a national championship, right? Darian Mensah is a step up from that. So Miami's going to be scary. You still got to watch Miami because they always end up choking a game or two here, but Darian Mensah is going to put up numbers, and that team is going to be scary, especially with those. Oh my God, that team is going to be crazy. With I don't know how much of their O-line they're retaining, but if they have even a remnant, like a portion of that O-line still there, that dude is going to light everybody up. He's going to be terrifying.
I agree 100%. Actually, that was going to be my pick, and it's weird that he's a dark horse in my opinion because I don't think people are talking about him. But they should. That he's gonna be right up there, and he would be my pick. Shoot, but if it's not him, I have to pick someone different.
You don't have to.
Well, he would definitely be my pick. I'm trying to think of who would be another person to look out for if it weren't him. You can go, Connor.
You got Josh Hoover at Indiana now. You got Sam Levitt at LSU. Obviously, you got Brendan Sorsby at Tech. You got Bear Bachmeier staying at BYU. He would have to take a massive leap forward. But I mean, there's people. You got Trinidad Chambliss coming back.
Yeah, but without Charlie White.
I don't know if that's like 100% still.
You got Arch.
That's a good one.
Arch is up there for me. I hate to say it. Julian Sand.
You seem to like Arch. You got John Mateer. Bryce Underwood could take a huge step forward.
I can't have enough confidence.
Did Dante Moore declare? Is Dante Moore going to the draft, or is he staying? Well, there's Dante Moore. There's Jaden Mayava.
I'll give you a name. I can't remember his name. What's his name? Who's the next QB at TCU?
I don't know.
TCU?
I can't remember, but I did a bunch of research, and I actually really like him. I'm going to throw him out without even knowing his name.
TCU's mystery quarterback?
Right? Yeah, that's a great segue. That's my pick. I'm going to figure it out for you. You can go. You can keep going, Connor.
Jaden Craig from Harvard?
Yes. Have you seen him and his stats and what he does?
You telling me this guy lit up the Ivy League? You're telling me he went toe-to-toe with Cornell?
I'm telling you, you'll get to know his name.
Big Red?
You will know his name next season, Connor.
Okay. I mean, yeah, because they play ASU.
No. And I will too.
Your Heisman favorite, you'll know his name. Yeah. I don't know, man. I mean, you're right. Like, legitimately, you guys are right about Darian Mensah. I just don't want to see it. I don't know. Something about the constant transferring upsets me. But he is the most likely. He had the highest performance of any quarterback that's coming back, and he is going to a better environment. And one could say he was hamstrung by his program already. He has nowhere to go but up, in theory. And that was already, he was doing really well. It is very possible that he could have a stratospheric rise. Dante Moore is an obvious choice. Trinidad Chambliss is an obvious contender. I'll believe it when I see anything out of Arch Manning. I'm sorry, I don't see it. I still don't get it. I know he ended the season way stronger. I know he was the best player on that Texas team. I'm not seeing Heisman. I'm not seeing Heisman out of him. From what I have seen so far, I don't see that. Maybe I'll be dead wrong. Maybe we'll run back this tape at the end of the season, and maybe he puts up 5,000 yards, and maybe, doubles Joe Burrow's stats. Every single stat doubled. Just
this whole
doubled.
Show is just about trolling each other, isn't it? Just throwing out little bits of pieces to get each other
throw
mad.
120 touchdowns? Wow, Art. God, buddy, man.
Close to it. Maybe not exactly doubled, but he's gonna have 9,000 yards.
Tripled.
You're right. So I'm not giving him enough. He does play at Texas after all. It only makes sense.
You are sleeping on Arch a bit there, Connor, but I'd probably put him at my third pick.
Did you watch the end of last season at all, Connor?
Yeah, when they played
Texas,
when they got humiliated by Georgia, and when they beat Texas A&M, who it turns out was bigger posers than the Patriots.
Okay, even those games, did you watch Arch Manning?
He was good. That's what I just said.
He was great. He was the only thing that was working.
Is he going to be the best football player in college football next year? Does he have that ceiling?
In my opinion, he has a very high percentage to be.
He's in the position for it with his team, who they got in the transfer portal. He's going to have two of the best running
We were
backs out of the
saying that
portal.
last year. We said this exact same thing last year.
Chance and I definitely didn't. We were like, I don't know yet. And then he showed us he wasn't ready. This year, he's ready. He is very much ready to take the helm. His team is much more ready. The only thing I can question is their defense going to be as good, or are they going to take a step back? Because their offense is definitely going to step forward here. So.
I mean, they lost some linebackers and got some linebackers and et cetera. It's just how those holes fit from what they lost and what they got. But everything else, I think it's a done deal for me.
All right. Time's ticking.
Okay. Way too early expectations for our personal favorite teams. Go ahead, Chase. Tell us how it is.
All right. Well, I'll start with the team that I think is going to do the best record-wise next season of these three teams, and I tip my hat to you, Chance. Your schedule is way easier than ours. I'm saying.
Thank you. I've got the best. I've got the easiest schedule. Thank you.
Out of all three of us, absolutely. But your team looks good. Your team looks good, and I think they're going to go 11-1. I'm saying 11-1 because I don't want to jinx it for them and say they're going to go undefeated. I'm going to say 11-1.
You just don't tell me who they lose to.
I'm not going to tell you who I think they're going to lose to, but I'm saying BYU is going to lead 11-1 in this 3-team matchup here. I have LSU at 2. Not shocking here. I'm going to say, just to stay comfortable, 10-2 for them. I'm going to say 10-2 makes the SEC championship at 10-2. And then, unfortunately, as we have dived deep into ASU, we have talked to an insider on their new quarterback, and he really hyped up that team. And still, I think ASU is going to go 7-5. They have the toughest road schedule possibly in the nation, in my opinion. Like, they play Texas A&M on the road, Texas Tech on the road, BYU on the road, Arizona on the road. And they played Kansas on the road. Kansas isn't a great team, but it's going to be in London. Like, I do not have high hopes for this team right now. Maybe they surprised me because nobody believed in them two seasons ago. But if I'm being pragmatic, 7-5 seems comfortable.
Wow. You pretty much said the same thing I was going to say. I mean, I think BYU slips up a game during the regular season. So I agree with you. 11-1. I don't know what that game is, but they will. That's just their nature. LSU, I like them at like 10-2, 9-3 territory. I think they're very good, but I think it takes time for a new system, new coach, new players to gel together and make it happen. And when you play in the SEC, you don't get that luxury like a BYU would in the Big 12. So for those reasons, I like LSU, but that's the reason for the ranking. And ASU has so many question marks. So sorry, Connor. The schedule, the question marks. Is Cutter really different, or is he mistake prone? Can his offensive line block for him? That's what we learned was scary, is can they block for him, because he's not scrambling like Sam Levitt was. So I've got them 7-5 as well.
Yeah, there's honestly not a lot of disagreement. There's no offense taken. Last year I said that that how Sam Levitt went was how ASU was going to go, and Sam Levitt was inconsistent and injury prone, and that is how ASU went. When we will never know, and we never got to see the absolute height of the potential of ASU. We got a flash of it against Texas Tech, but even Texas Tech had a little bit of an asterisk on it because they were without their quarterback. We never got to see the full power that team could have had. 2, running back 1 went down. Allegedly, Sam Levitt fell out with an injury that was unnamed, really unspecified. It was a disaster, and I would call it. Even after all that, there were still some cool moments, a top 10 win, but the home win streak ended. Like, it's just, there were, I on paper, it's probably going to go down as a quote, good season, in that it was a winning season, but nothing felt good about it. You left so many wins on the table. I mean, just the Mississippi State game alone left so much on the table.
Mississippi State, Houston,
Mississippi, but genuine, I know, I was making a big deal, but trying to be objective about it as like an analysis. Those 2 games really, they tarnished the entire season. That would have been I don't think that they were a playoff team regardless. We won't know because of their injuries, but we'll never know because they blew it. They blew it against Houston, which I still maintain was 100% officiating, but still ultimately that was a loss. And then Mississippi State was definitely a loss. Blown coverage, poorly timed. The blitzer shouldn't have been blitzing in the first place. Terrible call. But then he also tripped over his own 2 feet coming off the line and let that receiver get behind the defense and be at full
The
speed.
game wasn't just one play, though, Connor.
I know, but I'm saying like that is what it shouldn't have come down to. That you're the number 12 team in the country. It shouldn't have come down to that, but it did. Like, that was many other plays. I mean, there was the fourth down, they didn't go for it. I mean, there was a lot of times that they could have and should have won that game and played a little bit more aggressive. But I'm just saying, if those two had gone the other way, then yeah, it still would have been a good season, even if they had lost, the Arizona but I have no idea. Literally zero clue what to expect out of this new team. I have a feeling 8 wins might be coming our way again. Another 8 wins out of a Sun Devil football team. But you're right, it's tough. I mean, it's always tough to go into Kyle Field, especially like early in the season like that. You don't know. There's 6 true home games, 6 road games, one of them in London, which is always apparently a coin flip. It's one of the most volatile games in college football whenever you play in London. Gross. Kansas is also just always kind of scrappy. I don't know. You're going into Texas Tech, into BYU, bigger right now. I don't even trust at Arizona. Like there's nothing on here that I feel confident about other than Morgan State. I think 1-0 is a very big possibility.
Way to be optimistic.
Who even knows about Hawaii though? Honestly,
they're good.
Who even knows? I don't know. It's going to be an entirely different look. Now, they have potential. They got a quarterback. They got a couple of quarterbacks that are very highly touted. And Cutter Boley is the presumed starter. He didn't win the job yet, though. There's still a camp that it might not be Cutter Boley.
I mean, no. If your head coach says we know it, we got the guy, you can't say that there's a competition.
Okay.
I'm just saying that. I don't get it. I'll leave it at that. I don't understand Dillingham and his comments and doing that.
Yeah, Connor, I'm just saying we don't know 100%. Still don't know what Kyson Brown, the supposed running back what he's going to do. They brought in all these other people, but they got him from Villanova. They got a stud from Villanova. Okay. I'll believe that when I see it.
Connor, I mean, what are your records for these teams before we move on to trivia?
I'm going to optimistically say 8-4 for ASU. I'm going to say I do agree 10-2 just because I LSU, man, I don't know. BYU, for some reason I just got to say 11-1, man. I think we're in agreement. Although I'm going to be one game more optimistic about Arizona State, but so early. I got to be a little safe. I got to factor in a little bit of margin for error. So, all right, getting to the bonus segment, though. We will see, man. I mean, spring ball is not even technically around the corner. Don't we still have like a month until spring ball even starts? We'll see, but it's always interesting, and it is fun to speculate, and we will definitely keep track of these and see if any of it made any form of sense. North Dakota State versus JMU in the college football semifinals is a thing that actually is possible to happen this year. So, but we'll move on. Let's get to what is probably the funnest to listen to, but the most depressing segment for us to do. Let's go with trivia.
And it might be even more difficult this week, guys. This week we have
I am kicking myself because Chase has been writing the trivia, and he even said, "Hey guys, you got to write the next one." So we'll be writing next ones. But I'd rather be the one that gives the trivia because we look stupid when we don't.
Oh, we sure do.
I'd rather be on that side.
Chase, make us feel real dumb right now. Go for it.
Well, boys, this week we have a theme. The theme is Know Thy Enemy.
Stop.
Yep.
Oh, this is going to be even worse than last week. Or the last time.
So you're probably you're gonna see with every question I ask you, but you have. Let's see here.
How are we formatted on this? Are we on a team? Are we against each other? Is it one question, one person?
You're against each other. There's 4 questions for each of you, and if it's tied, there's a tiebreaker.
Okay, are we individually answering, or are we first answer, first one to get the point?
Individually answering.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I can't give you as much time as I normally give you just because I'm at 11%. But
If we stall long enough, Connor, his computer will die and we win.
Chase,
then you
go.
ruin the segment. So, Connor, who was the first live mascot for the University of Texas?
Do you mean like not Bevo?
Not Bevo.
I have I not the faintest idea. I thought this was going to be all University of Arizona trivia.
No. Know thy enemy.
Not the faintest clue.
That's okay. Don't beat yourself up too bad about these ones, boys. I had to throw this together literally 30 minutes before this. So, Pig Belmont, the dog.
The dog.
He was the athletic director's dog in like 1908 or something like that. I might be screwing up the year though, but
Should have known.
That's a nice
I
looking
call
dog.
myself
What's
a
his name?
fan.
Pig. All right.
Here, Pig.
Chance. Yours is a bit easier. Which Utah
I'm still going to get it wrong.
Which Utah QB is the only Utes quarterback to go number 1 in the NFL draft?
Alex Smith.
Correct. Alex Smith.
Alex
Connor.
Smith was number 1.
Number 1 overall in 2004.
Wow.
To the San Francisco 49ers.
Huh.
He kicked
Connor.
our butt that year.
What? Yeah. Connor, what was Lane Kiffin's record as a head coach at USC? This is multiple choice. A, 20-13. B, 28-15. C, 25-10. D, 22-18.
Hey.
Final answer?
Yes.
It's B, 28-15. 28-15. Yeah.
Ah.
Chance. Who was the last Notre Dame player to win the Heisman?
It's been a while.
It has been a while.
I could tell you the last runner-up.
The last runner.
I have a guess, but I feel like it's a dumb guess.
I will let you guess after Chance goes.
I can tell you, well, obviously last year they had a runner-up. 2013 they had a runner-up.
Here, I'll give you the year. It's pretty close to when BYU had their national championship. It's 1987.
And I wasn't even born. Man, you're gonna tell me and I'm gonna know, but I honestly I can't think of anything right now for time shortages. I'm not
Connor,
gonna
did
get it.
that ruin your guess?
Yeah, I thought it was way earlier than that. 1980s. No, that's not.
I will give you 10 seconds, and you can throw out that name if you can't think of one.
No, because anything I'm going to say, there's going to be a fan base that's mad at me for guessing because I don't even know if no, go for it. Who was
That's
it?
okay. We're here to give those hating fans.
I know.
something
Go
to
ahead. I know it's not the person I'm thinking of because that guy. I'm like 99% sure he played for Miami anyway.
Tim Brown, touchdown, Timmy.
Okay, running back.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. You can roast me for that one. I forgot when I typed this in because once again I did this in 30 minutes. Connor, which Houston Cougars quarterback threw for a school record 700 in a single game in 1990?
Oh my gosh! I literally I like saw this stat the other day. Do you know it, Chance?
Before you said
I
1990,
literally
I
read
wasn't
this
Steve
like
Keenum,
2
so
or
I
3
don't know.
days ago. He went on to the NFL, right?
I think so.
Oh
You're
my
not
god!
gonna get it.
I can't remember. I'm so mad. I literally just read this like this week. Go ahead.
David Klingler.
I
Do
don't
you know what team he
yeah.
did that to?
Is it to Arizona State?
Arizona State. December 2nd, 1990.
Ugh.
You getting the theme here, boys? It's teams you hate. Anyway,
Yeah.
Chance. Which Alabama Crimson Tide quarterback led his team to a national championship in 2015?
2015. Were there? Hold on. Was it the starting QB? How old is Jalen Hurts and Tua? I think they're a little bit beyond that. What's his bucket?
It's one of the bad ones, isn't it?
It's one of the white ones. It's the white kid.
Yeah, it's one of the two that's not good.
Oh, it's the white kid, and he was like a third
10
stringer in the NFL for a long time. What's his name?
I've got 2 guesses and both of them are bad, but
What's your
I
guess?
can't remember his name.
10 seconds.
I can't remember his name, so I'm gonna have to throw out two if I can't think of his name.
it's not Tua.
It's
I
not
promise you.
Ty Simpson.
Tyson.
Ty Simpson was this year.
Yeah, I know. It's something close to that though. The name, I feel like.
Chance, your time is up. Connor,
Alright.
I will give you 10 seconds.
It's
you mentioned-
either
you
AJ
mentioned this
McCarron
guy.
or
AJ McCarron. That's the one I was thinking of.
it's
What'd you say?
AJ McCarron, right? Or is
No.
either him or Mac Jones?
Jake
No, it's not Mike Jones.
Coker. Jake Coker.
Yes,
You
I
guys. He
I
came
knew
up.
it was some
before
random
episodes
white
were going.
dude.
Jake Coker. I remember hating him because I was like, this
Yeah.
dude's not even good. And they're
Yeah, yeah,
He's even worse than the 2 that I mentioned that are bad.
yeah. I was thinking AJ McCarron, but Jake Coker He was in there with the random white dudes that just were told don't turn over the ball.
Yeah. AJ was there, I think, from 2011 to 2014.
The only
Coker played in
reason
for
that
1 year.
anybody even remembers AJ McCarron is just because his girlfriend was a model, and every 5 seconds, every time he completed a pass, they would flash to her for like 5 seconds, and then they're like, oh, I want to watch
She
AJ
was
McCarron because they're gonna.
Miss Alabama, and she went to Auburn. And my favorite part is seeing her face after the kick 6, and she's like, so sorry. But her team just won. But yeah. All right.
He's making like $8 million a year to back up someone right now.
All right, Connor.
Didn't he play? Didn't he play this year?
I have
Who?
5% left.
AJ McCarron? Didn't he play?
Oh, AJ McCarron backed up for a while, but I don't think he's in the league anymore.
No, I don't think so.
All right, go for it.
Who is the sole BYU player to play in the Super Bowl this year?
Who's that for?
Connor.
Why is this my question? I don't.
Know thy enemy.
Not Zach Wilson. It's not either of the Romney ones. I don't know.
Neither Romney are in the NFL. Tell you that.
Chance, do you know it?
Is it Brady Christensen? No. He's on the Panthers. Who is it? It's a defensive lineman for the Patriots.
Yep.
I'm trying to remember his name right now.
Oh, was he the one who had he had a really good game, didn't he, in the Super Bowl?
He had a player too. Shoot, I'm forgetting his name right now. I'm not gonna get it just because of that.
Yeah, I'm probably.
I know. I
gonna
can see
die
his
here.
face right now. Defensive lineman, Patriots. I just can't think of his name. Go ahead.
Kyrus Tonga.
Kyrie Stonga. Yeah.
Not the one I was
Defensive
thinking.
tackle.
Chance.
He's a beast. He started out with the Bears, I think.
Yeah. Chance. What was ASU's original mascot?
I don't think Connor knows this.
What?
I'm gonna give you 10 seconds.
Are you talking about like
because my
animal?
computer is
Are you
not-
talking about animal?
Yeah, mascot.
I'm gonna go with it was a hound dog.
That is kind of close to not the right answer. But anyway, Connor, can you guess it?
No, I didn't know. Sparky's been around since like the 60s, the 50s,
Yeah.
I think.
Yes, but before that, they were the Owl.
Oh,
They were the
no!
Normal, and then they became the Sun Devils.
Guess we'll never know.
Man.
Hey, the good news is, Connor, I won trivia. 1-0.
I'm gonna die. Oh,
You didn't.
shit.
What did you get right?
I got Alex Smith.
That actually might be my internet.
That's
instead.
right.
He gave me a
Number
layup.
1 overall pick in the NFL draft, Alex Smith. Who would have thought? Okay, hold on. I need to look
That
this
one was
up.
an easy one. He didn't give you an easy one like he gave me.
Damn.
He
Although
did
I
not
should
give
have
me a
gotten
warm-up
Kyrie's-
one.
I should have gotten Kyrie's Tonga. I knew that one, but I just couldn't remember his name.
That's tough.
Okay, in Sparky the Sun Devil. Okay, I was right. This is going way back. Arizona State's official mascot as of 1946 became the Sun Devils. It was the Bulldogs, which
He can't give me hound dog? Oh, I should have just said dog. I was pretty close.
he probably picked that or because I mean this is like deep trivia though. He's making these really hard. I'm gonna try to give you guys I think I'm doing it next time.
He gave an impossible quiz. I mean, some of them we could have gotten, to be honest, but half the ones he didn't even know himself.
Oh, they were like mean.
Yeah, I mean, he gave me an easy one, obviously.
He said his internet cut out. His computer didn't even die.
Oh, shoot.
Poor guy. Okay. Well, either way, yeah, fine. Chance, you win.
Thank you. He gave me one layup and I dunked it.
He did. Yeah, I mean, we don't make the questions unless we're making the questions, right?
I feel bad that he didn't give you a layup.
I would have liked one, but I even said that I thought that Sam Levitt was going to do very well at LSU this year, and I'm really upset about it, but I think it's the truth. But all right.
He did.
Well-
He just texted, by the way, and he declared me the winner. So
Well, if he do declare, then that's all that matters.
I
All right,
do
everybody.
declare.
On behalf of the late Chase and on behalf of the still with us Chance, I am Connor, and this has been the Concussion Protocol Podcast. We will see you next time when the news continues. The football is getting a little bit closer, guys. We can smell it. 6 months until kickoff. Can't wait. We'll see you next time. Thank you so much for joining us.